and that's the iMac. The iMac is the best all-in-one computer in the industry. As you heard, it's actually the #1 desktop model in the US. And for good reason. It is a great design, evolved over many years. In fact, many think of it as the flagship of the Mac product line. You may remember it all started back in 1998. Yes, with the Bondi Blue iMac. In fact, this really relaunched all of our products, the way we make products, how innovative they are, how incredible the designs are. And it also epitomizes something that Apple does so well, to create a breakthrough innovative product, and then through the years, relentlessly keep updating it with the latest technology to push it as far as the technology allows. We've had 7 generations of iMac, each one better than the last. So that's why it's so great today for you to be the first to see the next generation of iMac. And here it is. It is absolutely beautiful. It is stunning from every side, edge-to-edge glass, that amazingly thin edge. Would you like to see one in person? I hope so, because we have one right here. So this is the brand new iMac. It is absolutely incredible, the most beautiful Mac we have ever made. If you want to get a look at how thin it is, let me turn it just a little bit. Look at that edge. Just remarkable how thin that design is. There's an entire computer in here. It's hard to believe there's even just a display in here. All right, let me tell you a lot more about it. That edge is 5 millimeters thin. That is 80% thinner than the previous generation. And it extends the entire length. All the way down to this area at the bottom, we lovingly call this the chin. Now, this enclosure is made of 2 parts, that chin and that entire big aluminum back. And they're put together previously with some advanced laser welding. But this is so thin, we wanted to do something even more incredible. The engineering team used a technology, you may not have heard of it, called friction stir welding. This is unbelievable. The actual molecules of the aluminum are merged together between the 2 components to make one piece that are super strong and nearly seamless. The lengths they will go to create these products is astounding. But how did we make it that thin? Well, to explain it, let me bring back up the previous generation. Isn't it amazing how something new makes the previous thing instantly look old? It's incredible. Well, let's look inside and take it apart a bit. The first thing the team did was engineer an entirely new display that's 5 millimeters thinner. That's a huge difference. And if you ever look closely at the previous generation, there's a very thin air gap between the display and the front glass, a 2 millimeter air gap. Well, we've removed that as well by laminating the display directly to the glass. This was a huge challenge. We've never laminated a display this large to glass. But the benefits are huge. The entire display system is 45% thinner. That makes a big difference. Then we remove the optical drive and completely re-engineer all the internal components to make something this amazingly thin. Let's talk a little bit more about this display. The display comes in 2 sizes, 21.5 inch and 27 inch. The 27 inch is 2560 by 1440. The 21.5 inch, 1920 by 1080. They're both IPS panels for a beautiful viewing angle and at full brightness over 300 nits, so beautifully bright. And we said that's fully laminated. Besides making it thin, the full lamination delivers another benefit. When you look at it, the text and graphics will look like they're sitting right on top of the glass because they're right that close, and it improves the optical quality. And then we also apply an anti-reflective coating to the display, but we wanted to make it even purer, even thinner, even higher quality image quality. And we used a new technology for us called plasma deposition. You can go home and tell people, today I heard about plasma deposition. It allows us to apply the anti-reflective coating down to a nanometer thickness. And the combination of all this hard work is really simple. Customers are going to appreciate that it's 75% less reflection than the previous generation. That's a really big deal. And to top it off, these displays are beautiful. They're each individually calibrated on the manufacturing line with a spectroradiometer. It is very, very cool. Some of the other features is a FaceTime HD camera for 720p, dual microphones, and a stereo sound system that sounds even better than the previous generation, which is so hard to achieve because this has 40% less volume than the previous generation. It also sheds up to 8 pounds over the previous generation. Pretty remarkable. And again, like the MacBook Pro, so much work has gone on the inside that I'm very happy to show you what that looks like. There is a serious computer inside this thin design. Here are some of the elements of it. Intel quad-core i5 or i7 Ivy Bridge processors, NVIDIA discrete Kepler graphics, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. You can have either up to 768 gigabytes of flash or up to 3 terabyte hard drive and up to 32 gigabytes of memory. That's twice as much as before. So much work has gone into fitting all of that inside a computer this thin. In terms of I/O, a headphone port, SD card reader, 4 USB 3 ports, 2 Thunderbolt, and gigabit Ethernet. I want to talk about storage just a little bit more. As I said, customers can choose a hard drive if they want, and many customers do because they want the maximum capacity. Others choose flash because that gives you maximum performance. In many cases, up to 3 to 4 times faster at key tasks. Well, with the iMac, as well as the Mac Mini we just discussed, we have a new third option for you to choose. It's called the Apple Fusion Drive. What's the Fusion Drive? Well, first, it's 128 gigabytes of flash storage. And added to that, your choice, either 1 or 3 terabyte hard drive. And in software, they're fused together into one logical volume. We do this so you can get much faster reads and writes than a hard drive can. But best of all, it's built into OS X Mountain Lion. So it's automatic. There's nothing to set up, nothing to manage, nothing to do. It just works. So how does it work? Well, when you order your iMac, if you choose the Fusion Drive, you get it, and there's one drive made up of both flash and the hard drive. Of course, the operating system entirely fits on that flash, so we keep it there for maximum system performance. In fact, all the software that comes pre-installed on your iMac automatically fits in flash. And then as you load up applications and documents or migrate them from a previous computer, we'll fill up all the space and use the storage you have. And then automatically, as you're using your computer, OS X's Fusion Drive is figuring out what you use the most and what will benefit from being on flash. So for example, if you don't use iMovie very often, but you use a lot of high-powered numbers spreadsheets, it might move those onto flash. Or perhaps you use Aperture, not iPhoto. Well, it'll move Aperture into flash and run it from there as well. All transparently from you. You just use it, it works. And so how does it perform? Well, using that Aperture example, one common task in Aperture is to import photos. If you use a hard drive, you get a certain speed, and Flash is over 3.5 times faster at this task. So how does the Fusion Drive compare? Here's how it compares. You get near the performance of Flash with access to all of that storage without having to do anything else. So that's the Fusion Drive. The iMac comes with a wireless keyboard and wireless Magic Mouse. Of course, many customers also choose a wireless Magic Trackpad as well. And for those who still are stuck in the past, yes, you can get an optical drive. We offer a great super drive that plugs into USB. There's a 21.5-inch Mac that starts at a 2.7 gigahertz quad-core i5, 8 gigs of memory, a GeForce GT 640M, that's a Kepler part, and a terabyte hard drive for just $12.99. Of course, you can make other configurations if you'd like, and these start shipping next month in November. The 27-inch iMac begins with a 2.9 gigahertz quad-core i5, 8 gigs of memory, GeForce GTX 660M, a terabyte hard drive for $17.99. And these start shipping. We start shipping about a month later in December. And again, like all of our computers, incredibly environmentally friendly, Energy Star 5.2, EPEAT Gold, and on and on. We've also engineered this new iMac to be even more energy efficient. It uses up to 50% less power when sitting idle. So those are the new iMacs, 21.5-inch, 27-inch, but perhaps the boldest new iMac designs we've ever created. And they carry on this great tradition we call iMac.